Everybody, it's Brian here from Rental Tracks. Just going to show you what you need to do in order to fill the product import template. So it's an Excel file that looks like this. You can download it from rentaltracks.com on our support page. And it's set up with a lot of permissions. So for example, I'm in the tax class ID field here, which needs to be a number. A lot of the imports we get have GST or local tax or whatever typed into that column. It has to be a number, and I'm going to show you where it comes from. So now we've limited a lot of what you do. So if I type in GST and hit enter, it tells me I'm not allowed. It has to be a number, and it tells me where to get that number from. So I'm going to go through some of the key columns here. I'm not going to go through each one of them because some of them you're not going to fill out unless you upgrade to the web shop. And in that case, you can watch the web shop videos. But for now, if I look at the tax class ID as the first major one I want to look at, I'm going to go here and go to our sample. And so here's our sample system. I want to look at tax classes, list tax class. So when I do that, I can see here, these are the tax percentages, the name of it, and here's the tax number. So if I wanted to do GST, I would have to put number 6, because that's the one associated with that, into this column here. So if I type in 6 and go over, that's going to say I want to charge 8% tax to the product I'm creating. The category ID works the same way. So if I go back to our system here and I look at our categories, list the categories, here are all of the categories in my system. So you might have to come in here first before you do the product upload and click the new product category button. Type in a category, which would be cool stuff. Click save. And I'm going to go back to see my categories here. And I can see, okay, there's my cool stuff category. It's got number 17. So I'm going to go back here and put it in, 17. The type of product is either virtual, rental, standard, or bundle. So a virtual product being a non-physical product, a rental product meaning something that's leaving and coming back, a standard product being something that you're selling, and then a bundle product being something that you're packaging everything together. So for this case, I'm just going to use the drop down and select rental. Again, you can't do anything else. Any other variation will not upload, so you can't do it. I'm going to come over to the stock area now, and I'm going to type in how many pieces I want. So if I say 1,000, it tells me you can't. It has to be a number. You can't have letters. So I'm going to type in 1,000 pieces of this. The equipment number is my you can hover over it here. That is the number of the product, so the SKU number. Okay, so whatever you buy it for. So this can be letters and numbers if you want. So I'll call it my ABC123. The location is where in the warehouse it is. So if you just typed warehouse right now, you're going to have a lot of angry warehouse staff because they know it's in the warehouse. So maybe you want to go warehouse section 2, aisle 3. The equipment name is what you're going to call it. So we're going to call this my iPhone SE. Sure. Weight, again, is how much does this weigh. So we'll put it in 1 pound. If I type in L, I can't put the letters in. I don't need it to say 1 lbs. You don't want to do it that way. You just want to put the number in. So we'll say 1.0 pounds. I'm going to go over to the price section here. So the column N for price is the one that you were going to put in how much you're renting this piece out for. So it's $22. This isn't the cost of purchasing it. Okay, that's a different column. You're putting in the price that you're renting it out for. The active column needs to be filled out next. It's either a 1 or a 0. It's binary. So if the product is active, if you are willing to rent it out as of the upload, you put a 1. If it's not active and you're not willing to rent it out, put it in as a 0. That will eliminate the necessity to have it available once you turn the system on. I'm going to skip over here a little bit further along. You can skip a lot of the shop tabs here, as you don't need to do it unless you upgrade to the web shop feature. That's when you're going to go through it. Column AM is the booking text. That column, this is your sales pitch. This is, so instead of iPhone SE, I would say silver-backed iPhone with 16 gigabyte memory. And you can do that with anything, whether it's linens or whatever. This is the information you want the client to see. So put that in column AM. Column AN is the replacement price. So I'm going to put in here that it's $600. And this is the cost that I'm charging the client if I need to buy a new item if they damage it. So I want to make sure that's filled out. The rest of it you can fill out if you need to. However, it really depends on the industry that you're in. If you have a barcode that you have associated with the product, put it in here. So I can do that. The rest of it you really don't need to get into at the very beginning unless there's specific columns that you want to save time with the upload. But those are the key columns that I just went through. You're going to go through and do it for every single product you have. You can leave the ID field empty as well. Don't fill that field out. Everything else, fill out as much as you can because you're going to save yourself a lot of time in the long run. I hope this video helps you out with doing the product upload. If you have any questions, you can email us at info@rentaltracks.com. You can check us out on Facebook at www.facebook.com/rentaltracks. Get a hold of us at 888-925-6236. That's 888-925-6236. Thanks.